Good evening, everyone. We get started, as usual, with the praise to Manjushri. I pay homage to the Guru and Lord Arya Manjushri. Your intelligence shines forth like the sun, unclouded by the two obscurations. You hold the scripture text into your heart, symbolic of the seeing of all things as they are. Those who are caught in the prison of samsara are confused in the darkness of ignorance and are overwhelmed by their sufferings. In 60 ways with your speech you teach migratory beings to whom your compassion is your only child. Your proclamation of Dharma is like roaring thunder, which awakens beings from the stupor of delusions and frees us from the iron chains of our karma. You wield a sword of wisdom, hewing down suffering wherever its sprouts appear, clearing away the darkness of ignorance. Primordially pure, your princely body is embodiment of the perfection of Bodhisattva dwelling on the 10th Bhumi. I pay homage to Manjushri, who dispels my ignorance, whose body is adorned with the 112 marks of a Buddha. With the ability of your wisdom, O compassionate one, illumine the darkness enclosing my mind. Enlighten and intelligent wisdom, so that I may gain insight into Buddha's words and texts that explain them. In Buddha, Dharma and Sangha, I take refuge until enlightenment is reached. By the merit of listening to these teachings, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all living beings. May all living beings have happiness and cause of happiness. May all living beings be free from sorrow and the cause of sorrow. May all living beings not be separate from the bliss that is sorrowless. May all living beings live attachment and hatred towards near ones afar, but living with equanimity. May all living beings have happiness and cause of happiness. May all living beings be free from sorrow and the cause of sorrow. May all living beings not be separated from the bliss that is sorrowless. May all living beings live attachment, hatred towards near ones afar, but living with equanimity. Samja namja sambada loye jada jada jejo dumo edibai jeje ngolo bodozo. In accordance with the position and intelligence of sentient beings, we request to return the Dharma level greater, lesser, common vehicles. So tonight we are continuing the 5th Paramita, analytical meditation, analyzing the subject of the meditative concentration, what is called DHYANA Paramita. We looked at the first 4 paramitas, Dana Paramita, which means the generosity, and the Shila Paramita, which is self-discipline, and then the Shanti Paramita, which is the tolerance, and then the fourth, which Virya Paramita, which is the diligence. And today is DHYANA Paramita. DHYANA Paramita means concentration meditation, which means one-pointed concentration. But of course here the subject of one-pointed concentration refers to more broader subject than just calm abiding meditation. Generally in Buddhism, concentration meditation is called one-pointed concentration, which is calm abiding meditation. If it's not Dhyana Paramita in the context of the Bodhisattva vehicle, it is so. You can talk exclusively on calm abiding meditation. But Dhyana Paramita is a little bit Mahayanistic, and so therefore it's much more pan-Buddhist, or maybe in pan-religious concept. So that's what we're going to look at it. But so nature of the concentration meditation is a question of guiding and guarding the mind. When the mind is focused and with an object of attention, it is like the farmer who is digging canals so as to guide the water to irrigate his field. Likewise, like a fletcher, person who's making an arrow from bamboo, learns to cut the bamboo in a way in order to make an arrow, then to try to make an arrow out of the bamboo. Likewise, we too, in a concentration meditation, try to guide our mind to one point for one particular important purpose, and so that the mind doesn't get dissipated everywhere. So one-pointed concentration meditation. So it's learning to develop attention. Basically, it's a practice of developing attention. Even the practice of generosity or self-discipline or any of the above will suffer badly, and we do suffer badly due to deficiency of attention. They call attention deficit. They usually call it. So nature of concentration meditation is to guard and foster concentration and attention. So much energy is wasted when the person is not focused. Whether it's a week or month or day or many years are lost not having the attention being guarded and guided. So discovering the importance of how to guard and train our mind through meditation. Lots of people discover that through learning meditation, generally speaking through calm abiding, which we promote, is what this is. A person whose mind is receiving the techniques of how to develop concentration meditation, they will gain a greater sort of inner knowledge of their own mind, and they have less and less problem with things outside. The more they learn to tame and understand their mind, that much more problems of the outside are quelled naturally because of the ability to understand and focus one's attention to important things and not let the energy become dissipated everywhere. Both in this life as well as any particular person's material, career, whatever success they have usually come from good concentration, very good discipline to stay focused. It's no different from attaining enlightenment also. It's only with concentration meditation, even Shakyamuni Buddha, a prince who have plenty of things to enjoy and use and so, but he was not distractible by luxury and wealth and prestige and power and pleasure. These things did not make him to succumb, but rather warned him of their danger, and therefore focus his attention to develop concentration meditation. So therefore, concentration meditation is the cause of oneself, others, this and future life's benefit come from the effective utilization of our mind. When we fail to utilize our inner potential of the mind, then that's where all the problems are met. So that's little bit of a nature of concentration meditation. Then, in order to do concentration meditation, what are the prerequisites for doing the concentration meditation? These are listed here. To do meditation, basically you need a conducive place. Ideally, solitude. This is talking about long meditation, like the Shakyamuni Buddha did meditation retreat. Yeah? He left his palace and home and city and duties and activities and all his belongings, attachment, gave up all of that, and he went to a conducive place, which was a place owned by nobody, except trees and birds and mosquitoes and whatever. So conducive place, and that's outer requirement. Inner requirement is fewness of desire. So even though one go to quiet, peaceful place, but one is thinking mostly how to satisfy one's senses, and that will not meet the requirement for meditation concentration. Most people who start retreat and can't finish is because they are not able to honor this second prerequisite. They are thinking too much of their comfort, or they're thinking of desirable things, or what they want to sit or eat or have or do, or they're only thinking of those and cannot focus their attention on the meditation. Easily, enthusiastically go to retreat, but just quickly come out, escape. So many people do that. Fewness of desire. And another reason is contentment. One should be very contented with the place, weather, food, simplicity, all those things. One has to be completely contented. I'm so thankful that I got this place to do meditation. Circumstances, support to meditate. Just keep thinking of those things. Oh, excellent opportunity, rejoicing them. Then the persons will be able to start and do well and finish it. Otherwise, discontented because the bed is hurting, or toilets is outside there, or there's no hot water, or whatever, or there is, but someone used it up, or nobody turned it on, or whatever. We never had heard of hot water when I did the retreat. We never heard of running hot water. I've never experienced running hot water when I was doing retreat, because just to have a running tap in the building is considered very luxurious. I've never had a hot shower, let alone bath when in the monastery, because we never saw them. No, my parents have never seen them, so how should I get one? We were born in tent, always lived in tent, and so, but not even those people who had lived in buildings, they never have seen hot showers. So contentment is so important. Never came as an issue, that toilet and shower issue, because we never were spoiled in having them. Contentment, very important. Freedom from other activities. Yeah. On top of that, one should be free to just do the meditation. One can't take knitting, one can't take writing, one can't take weaving, or writing, all those sorts of things. One shouldn't think entertaining those other activities, A little bit of reading is allowed, that's relevant to the meditation, but not other activities. Or even walking. Some people not in the session, they're walking all the time. They're not in the room, they just went for a walk. They thought that was a retreat. No, a little bit of walking during the break is good, but not just missing the whole session and wandering around in the bush. That's not a retreat. And then good discipline. If there was a good discipline, one will honor all the above and dissuade oneself, and then really good discipline. Good discipline usually taking precepts. In the Buddhist retreat, usually take precept for 25 hours, either every day or alternate days. That might be fasting half of the day, and so on. So you observe the discipline in the name of the Buddha for the benefit of all sentient beings. You dedicate that. That good discipline is so important. When one is not observing good discipline, even if one is in a small room, nothing good happens. Yeah, he's in the room, but doing what? He's not getting up on time. He isn't doing the sessions throughout the 4 hours or 3 hours. He finishes in less than an hour and then sleeping. Not good discipline. Yeah, good discipline. We talked about discipline. And even if you observe all the above, you're doing that meditation, lack of discursive thoughts. Yeah, if you're distracted, you can't meditate. And thorough knowledge on the practice. You have to have good know-how instruction on the meditation subject. Whether it's karma abiding, whether it's bodhicitta, whether it's Ngondo practice, whether it's deity yoga, or whatever it is, you've got to have thorough instruction, knowledge, how to do. Before you go in, you've got to really know exactly what to do, how to conduct the session, how to maintain your daily sessions and so forth. Thorough knowledge on the practice, and the permission, guidance, and you need support, and you need to have all of those. And then a competent and experienced mentor. That's very important. Person, you can't just do a subject of meditation thinking you probably know how to do it. You'll find out. You shouldn't. You should actually have a reliable senior practitioner, if not a teacher. You should have somebody who knows and done that very well before, and through their guidance, you have access to them, and have their agreement to support you. Not just think they are there. Have to really talk to them. I'm going to do this retreat. Could you please give me some tips and how to guide that? And then throughout this retreat, you've got to do that. Yeah. So these are the prerequisites for a good concentration meditation retreat. Then third point is causes and demerits of distraction. Now, this is discursive thoughts. Within the meditation, people cannot meditate very well because they are attached to people. Yeah, they miss the son or the daughter or the brother or the husband or the mother or the things like that. Not that we don't care about them, but there's little we can do. And when we are with them, we don't do much. When we're not with them, we think we can do something. It's a cop out. It's a lot of people said, I can't do it, I got to look after mother. They actually don't look after mother at all. They just make a miserable visit every now and then, but otherwise they don't do much. See, attachment to people, And they're never free to do meditation. They're never free to do retreat because they are too attached to people, Another is attachment to meaningless things, they got things to do. They have commitment. They have commitment to eat every day. They have commitment to do shopping every day, as if that's going to sort of succeed some wonderful achievements. Attachment to worldly activities. Yeah, worldly activities, just the normal chores. You got to do regular things. If I'm not there, who will look after my house, or who will look after my garden? And then you get so much enslaved by worldly activities, one is never free to do the meditation. So these are obstacles. Instead of creating prerequisites, these are creating obstacles from doing the meditation. Or in the meditation, people start thinking of these things, and then they can't concentrate. And then attached to money and material possession. Then they're worried about the value of the business or the house or the property and things. What will happen to them when I'm in retreat? What will happen to my share? So you can make the share grow if you're not in retreat. The share even dwindles, even you stay alive every day. It's just a bit of a gamble, really. So attach money and material possession. Yeah, they always worry. I have to go back and look after my farm. I have to go to make sure that this. One is constantly thinking about material objects and possessions, and then never free to meditate. Never free. One becomes so committed slave to a miserable house, miserable farm, and you can let somebody look after and not even worry about it. It has how many farms can benefit sentient beings? how many houses and how many chooks can benefit sentient being? Sure, they need to be looked after for sure, but but you shouldn't make them an obstacle, excuse for your not doing the retreat. This is what I'm talking about. And unrealistic expectation. Now this is a hard one. People go on retreat, then they think they will become more enlightened or something. They think they're going to see the Buddha, or they become very special. In a matter of months, they become amazing expectations. See, these are big obstacles. Many people, they're just disappointed. They get so deluded in the meditation. They realize how much delusion and karma and pain and emotional hurts come up, and they don't realize all these things will come out in meditation. So one should not have an unrealistic expectation. One should prepare for the worst. Because this is a battle, inner battle. You must win it. This is conquering your inner maras. You can't have a smooth sailing. It will be bumpy, but it will be very meaningful. So with such readiness, that's why there's so few people doing retreat. So few people going to the big teachings or intellectual study or flocking to the study and the intellectual. There are lots of people doing that. In the monasteries, there are lots of thousands of people clapping hands, debating, arguing. But those who do retreat, you can't see them. There's hardly any quiet place. Everybody's noisy. Where are the people doing retreat? Oh, way up there mountain. One or two kutis, caves, countable on your fingertips. So few are the practitioners. Most are the intellectualists. So very few people do meditation. Why? Because there's so many impediment, and they usually do not get to do that, to decide that. Yeah. So how to overcome these problems? You should think of the merit of solitude. One should think of the benefit of being in solitude. Soothing quality of nature. When you go into nature, it will soothe your body. It will dissolve your problems. You wouldn't even think about them because the nature is so vast and accepting of you. They wouldn't instigate your problems. They wouldn't talk to you about your problems. And nature is so healing, So you should think about that. And soothing quality of nature. Free and far away from things. Yeah, you're too far from anyone coming to you or wanting this from you or that from you. And you could not do anything harm to anybody too, because nobody can also harm to you. So it's a very safe place. Very safe. And conducive to practice. Yeah, you're free. You can't say, oh, this on at 5, that on at 6, that on at Thursday, that on. You can't say that. Nothing is on. Everything is off. Everything is off. Practice is on. Yeah. So when you have that, then so you got to think of how free you are to do the good that you have long to do. It's so happy. It's like a dream. It's a dream that come true. You have this freedom. Conducive. Birds and forests do not distract or show disdain. Yeah, so you should think about how the Mother Nature is very soothing. Birds and wildlife, they carry on. They don't come to distract you, and they're so accepting of non-judging of you. Particularly wildlife, they're just so peaceful. They have no problems. Animals are actually much better than some difficult human beings. Animals are so accepting, no complaining, wagging the tail, sniffing, so simple food, happy. You just keep some leftovers, put on the backyard, they're happy. Don't say, I want this, I don't want this. So easy, difficult to please human beings. Animals are very easy. They are not yours, nor are you theirs. Everybody is free. Everybody is independent of each other, but very kind and unwanting of any of you. Nobody has any demands, expectations, obligations. So, to think about the merits of solitude. Merits of solitude.
Shantideva wrote a lot of verses in his chapter on this. Intend to practice in seclusion. Yeah, even though you have all the things, but you got to really rejoice every day. And then I'm going to practice. Wow! And then rejoice that you are in a very conducive place to practice. So those are the four general to all meditations. Yeah, general to all meditation retreat. Yeah. Then the main thing is what type of meditations, types of concentration meditation. First is worldly concentration meditation for temporal happiness. Unfortunately, that's what most people's priority is. Even when they meditate, they want the meditation for the temporal happiness. They want this life's happiness. There's nothing wrong with it. That's just that most people want to just do some tangible benefits in this life. Because that's where the people's consciousness is. And there's nothing wrong with it. just saying that's one of the most people's reason. And so whether even they receive tantric initiation, they take even bodhisattva vows, they may even high Buddhist practice, but many they are doing only for happiness of this life, isn't it? Even some Buddhist organizations, they're only promoting happiness in its causes. It's very un-Buddhist, really. Life has no happiness. So why try to fool people? Life is big problem. So don't say there is happiness and we can teach you how to have happiness. It's even Buddhism is becoming more like a hijacked by this happiness industry. Really. And it's got a lot of Buddhist teachers laughing all the time and like that. People think that's what Buddhists are like. That's not really Buddhist at all. That's just joy of Dharma empowers them to do it, but otherwise they know too well how unreliable life is. No matter what you have to please your senses, it's just nothing there. Nothing there. So why fool? And lots of people meditate just for that, Majority, It says in the teachings, if you're attached to this life, you're not a spiritual person. It's full stop. But still, we say majority of people do meditation or learn Buddhism or teach only for that person life, because that's the level of consciousness, and we have to admit that is what we call secular ethic these days. It's all about how to make how to make it real. People who can't think religious, they just had enough religions. So people have become so anti-religion. So anyway, that's one thing. Even here, when it's technically speaking, when it's a worldly concentration meditation for temporal happiness, is the non-Buddhist meditators during the contemporary to Buddha Shakyamuni, they promote a meditation where you can enter into great levels of 4 levels of meditative concentration, 4 levels of dhyana, like kind of absorptions, that very blissful. Definitely take away all your life's difficulties. You reach many deep meditative absorptions. And they actually confuse that as some form of liberation. And they stay in those trance very long time. And so it's referring to that. Technically that's referring to that. But of course these days people are doing meditation even lesser than that. they just wanted to have a little bit of worldly gains, worldly benefits. Yeah. Okay, let's not talk too much on that, pretending that we are not, pretending that we don't do meditation for temporal happiness. No way. We're too smart for that. Anyway, religious concentration meditation to gain higher rebirth. There's a lot of, this is like Buddhist. Majority of cultural Buddhists practice meditation or prayer or do various Buddhist things. Their main purpose is to gain higher rebirth. Yeah? So that they create causes to earn a good rebirth in next life. Yeah? Higher rebirth, maybe humans, maybe even gods or demigods or whatever. And they really fear lower rebirth. They don't want to be born as animals or any kind of unfortunate forms of life. And who does, you know? So there's a huge number of Buddhist believers fall into this category. Whatever religious duties they do, whether they do retreat or whether they sponsor others to do retreat, it's mainly for themselves to earn a good rebirth. As you can say it is like that because always somebody says somebody dies, they say, oh, may such and such find a happy rebirth. That's just like a normal prayer. That's the consciousness. And sometimes, I mean, we also, when we first hear about sufferings of lower realms, you practice so hard so that you can escape a lower rebirth, so that you can have a higher rebirth. So it's got a lot of people into that. Yeah. Now the third one is the lesser vehicle concentration meditation to liberate from samsara. Now this is what we call Theravada in Buddhist teachings, generally all Buddhists. Generally majority Buddhists are practicing so that they can be free from samsara. That is rebirth and death and karma and affliction. So they can get out of samsara to gain nirvana, isn't it? Gain nirvana. So that is that people who meditate, and the meditation subject could be any of the following we would talk about, such as karma binding and so on, the various meditation. But the purpose, the intention, can vary from person to person. Yeah, even people all in retreat. They went to retreat. He went to retreat. But they are doing it for different reasons, depending to their motivation. Yeah, people wanted to be free from samsara. And they're so much taught how to renounce samsara. Samsara is said to be unsatisfactory, like the burning fire. You can never extinguish that fire. If you stay in that, you got to get out of it. You know? It's like a terminal illness that will never get better. It will kill you. It's like that. So samsara is like not a pleasant place to be, and therefore you must do whatever it takes to get out of here and not return in samsara with karma and affliction. So that's a very strong general Buddhist, you know, even the monastics who really totally took very strict vows, spending 40 years in a retreat, most probably they'll say, so that they can escape from samsara, and so on. Okay, and then there are specific meditations, concentration meditation, affliction purifying objective meditation. Yeah, so that the meditation itself is to purify your afflictions from your mental continuum, to try to remove certain things like ill will or desire or whatever the case might be. Yeah, whatever the case might be. So then we move to the now, in any, whatever are the motivation, it varies according to person, but main thing what a person does in meditation, concentration, is first they sit. So therefore they have to first do the good physical posture meditation. I wouldn't go into that because that's usually covered. Since you have all done the karma binding meditation, any meditation requires to sit in the correct posture, whichever of the meditation you do. Now, then the second point is the object of the meditation. What is the actual object? What are the objects you can meditate on? These are mostly Buddhist meditation within lesser vehicle object of meditation, not Mahayana. So we call the objects of meditation could be pervasive objects of meditation. Pervasive object of meditation means it's fairly universal objects, such as conceptual objects. The conceptual object is, for instance, if you meditate on impermanence, thinking that everything is impermanent, and then you just mentally recite everything's impermanent, just keep, maybe maybe you're using a little bit of breath or other things, but mainly keep your meditation on impermanence.
or maybe you can meditate on preciousness of human rebirth. Yeah, these are all conceptual objects. Yeah, analytical object of meditation, but focus on one object intellectually, and then you think about that, this conceptual object. Some are non-conceptual object. Some are non-conceptual object of meditation. Non-conceptual object of meditation just usually given, usually given to the disciple as a non-conceptual object of meditation. Has to be something conceptual, but not allowed to conceptualize very much. Just people get given a mantra or something, they just have to just meditate on that. There's no description, no decoding, and they just have to say that, and they not think about it. They just do it, And then a third is finite object, like a pebble, like a flower, like a syllable, or sometimes on a disc, sometimes on a object, or sometimes on the sound. Sometimes, so there are various finite. Finite means one single object. And then other is meaningful object. Meaningful object is that this meaningful could be conceptual, but that has a lot of meaning. Like impermanence is a meaningful object of meditation. Yeah. You can reason it, and as a result of that, it not only focus your concentration on the object, but also it gave lots of understanding of the meaning. Yeah. So conceptual object could be conceptual as long as it's meaningful. Some conceptuals are not meaningful, really. Pretty dry and hard to fathom, and you don't know why they talk about that like that too much again and again and again. So dry and so fruitless. Fruitless jumble of words and long philosophical terminology. Don't know how to chew them. Some are not so meaningful. It's so tedious and so unnecessary, so archaic. Yeah, I know that, So I'm not saying you think like that. This is my attitude. It's definitely some of them a bit long-winded. Anyway, so other meditation is like meditation object is conduct purifying object of meditation. Conduct means the conduct of the person. Emotional conduct. We were talking about affliction purifying object of meditation. So conduct purifying object of meditation, like unpleasant body to remedy desire. You deliberately meditate on the body of your objects of desire, so either of the same gender or of the opposite gender. Because in the old days they say you meditate on the unpleasantness of female body, but that's mainly because majority are monks. But now it's not the case. It's actually females are outnumbering men, so they should meditate on the unpleasantness of the gender, man's body, inside out. Some people don't like this. They say, "Oh, this is really disrespectful to a human body," or something. Some people just think it's abhorrent to meditate on the actual body, from the skin all the way to the marrows of the bones, dissecting 36 impurities of meditation. They definitely work. They definitely will succeed to implant aversion. It's some form of induce in aversion meditation to the body. You don't desire, you just don't. And that's probably quite a lifeline of the monastics. They actually thrived on that, so that they just totally put a dissuasion from desiring it. They keep thinking of that, and then they don't see anything that is appealing. That definitely changed the conduct of desirous person to see undesirable. So that's one object of meditation. And remember, it doesn't have to be monastic. When you are in retreat, even if you're a lay person, you go a 1 month retreat, you all of a sudden you realize you have a lot of desire come up, and you can't focus or you can't concentrate very well.
and your mind is not often away from desire. The just question is what. And so you got to invoke some kind of technique, how to remedy that, isn't it? So that's what this is very relevant. It's not just for monastics. And then, loving kindness meditation to remedy hate. So, you meditate on loving kindness, particularly to remedy hate. Lots of people find in retreat, they realize they have so much resentment, there's so much anger about something, and it comes so obvious in the meditation. They are in retreat, and yet they still have a lot of unresolved issues, and they really wouldn't give it a break. They still think that's a no-go area. And so for them, the teaching must be given how to develop loving kindness meditation to overcome the ill will and hate. And so therefore, these are universal. People must always be familiar with these techniques. Whatever main subject of meditation there is, but they must resort to these things to purify their emotional conduct. Yeah? And then dependent origination meditation, concentration to remedy ignorance. The person who in meditation have a lot of ignorance and dullness and concentration, can't focus, mind is very dull and foggy, they must meditate on the dependent origination, how everything is dependent. Nothing exists independently by itself. So that's a very important teaching. Very, very intellectual, but necessary. Because when you use intellectual argument, then your ignorance is challenged. So it's just, you can see that how it is a remedy, Classification of elements to remedy pride. Pride. Some people say, I don't want to do this. Why should I sit here for a whole month just reciting this again and again? No way. A lot of people just try to think they're too intelligent to be sitting there every day and say that word so many thousands of times. They think they're too smart or they're too important. Or a lot of pride comes. There are 7 types of pride, Those comes in. So for these people who have a lot of pride, they must meditate on classification of elements. Classification elements means 6 sense organs. This sense organ elements, 6 sense object, sense sources of sense perception. So the 12, 6 sense organs, 6 sense object, and then 6 sense consciousnesses. So you meditate on the interdependent workings of these 18 constituents, 18 elements. And then when you meditate on that, then you realize even to have the eye consciousness seeing a form, the form that you see that is not independently existing unless there's eye. Even the eye and the form there, unless there's an eye consciousness, you cannot see it. People have beautiful eyes, but they can't see. So some have very big ears, but they can't hear nothing, So therefore, you can see the elements meaning factors. How many factors are necessary to make anything possible. So this is very powerful antidote for pride. Because when people who are prideful, they think they are some kind of independently good. They are genius. From birth, from knowledge, from experience, from skills, what they can or cannot do, they think they're great, And then as a result of that, they look down upon other people and very competitive, very often very depressed. People who are arrogant, very easily get depressed because they can't accept nothing less than something. And that's the problem. There must be humility. They could accept anything. That's much better choice. Means you be victory. You be victorious if you accept anything. But if you want this or nothing less than that, means you have a recipe for disappointment. So meditation on the classification of elements, which Buddhist Abhidharma teaching is all about, on that. And then round breath to remedy discursive thoughts. Yeah, breath meditation, qualify round breathing, super qualify round breathing, counting, forward counting, reverse counting, odd counting, even counting numbers, forward even counting, all this, or reverse for odd counting, or counting 4 as 1, forward counting, and then try to all the way to for 400 or something. So there are many counting methods, many counting methods, like 16 types of breath meditation mentioned in the Anapanasati. It's just simple ones, but they are much more complex than that. All of these are very useful to stop your discursive thoughts. So these 5, which we mentioned, are very Buddhist, very pan-Buddhist meditation. So the third is the wise person's objective meditation. Now this is people who are very intelligent. So for them there is a meditation. Their meditation is a meditation on aggregates. Aggregates meaning the 5 psychophysical organs that our person, body, spirit, and mind is constitute. They are form aggregate, feeling aggregate, perception aggregate, and then volition aggregate, and then consciousness aggregate. These are 5 aggregates. 5 aggregates is very important Buddhist concepts, because these are just like the 5 factors that 5 heaps, called 5 heaps sometimes called. Aggregate means heaps, isn't it? Aggregate means heaps. So each of the aggregate are heaps of aggregate themselves. Like form aggregate is the body. Our body is, that's why meditation on the body is very useful, from the skin all the way, the hair, body hairs, down to the marrow. When you look at it, we are aggregate of flesh and bone and marrows and fat too. A lot of the people got a lot of fat and lymph and just if each of them are separately counted and listed, and we are aggregate of nothing but flesh and bone and useless stuff. Basically useless stuff. That's a form aggregate. Wise people meditate on this. When they meditate on the form aggregate, they don't get attached to the body. They actually were amazed how strong still the body is functioning, in spite of the fragility in spite of this hollowness of almost like nothing is there and it's very satisfactory there, but still holding together these many years. It doesn't go off, You just need a shower every day and feed. Otherwise, it doesn't need refrigeration, or it's pretty good, isn't it? Amazing body, yeah. But when you really look at it, there isn't something that is substantial, let alone self. That is form aggregate. So wise people meditate. In the Heart Sutra, there's no form. Form is emptiness. It says that. So wise people meditate on the emptiness of self in the aggregate of form. Very good. And wise people also then meditate on the emptiness of self in the feeling, the second aggregate. Feeling is pleasant feeling, unpleasant feeling, neutral feeling. There is nothing in this pleasant feeling that is self. There is no self that is identical to the feeling, because feeling is very transient, come and goes, but self looks like something real and permanent. It looks like it's there always. The feeling comes and goes. So therefore there is no feeling. So wise people meditate on the feeling and emptiness of self in the feeling, and emptiness of feeling itself. So important. Otherwise you think somebody loves you, you get really puffed up. And you think they no longer love you, then you get really lost. Such a stupid decision. But wise people meditate on the emptiness of the feeling. Just wise people meditate on aggregates. Feeling aggregate. Feeling aggregate is not just pleasant, unpleasant, and neutral, but feeling coming from 5, 6 senses. Yeah, by looking you feel good. You look at something beautiful, you like it. That's a pleasant feeling. You don't like something you look, then it's unpleasant. See. So every sense object has 3 feelings. and so on, and so on, and so forth. So the life is just all about feelings, you know. But if you look at the feeling, it's all unsatisfactory. So the body is unpleasant, feelings is unsatisfactory. Wise people actually then can laugh. They don't really worry so much. they don't invest too much in some kind of illusion. These are wise people. These are wise people's meditation. So if you think you're not too intelligent enough, don't go there. Just meditate on some unwise subjects. Oh, breathing meditation, so nice. Oh yeah, I did 100 forward counting. I did 50 reversing. Very good. So you got to start somewhere, you know. But eventually you must try to aim to be a wise person. And you can see the wisdom of doing that. It frees you. It liberates you from the fallacy that form is real. Form is self. That form will satisfy you. And so on. And so forth. It will save so much suffering. It will make so much meaningful. So the wise, why wise people? Others can't take it. Others don't have the intellectual capacity. Don't have time to listen. Don't have time to think. Can't be bothered. Because they're too busy being important. You know? They don't see the benefit of it. They say, oh yeah. Philosophy stuff. Buddhist stuff. They don't get it, you know, poor thing. My karma hasn't matured. They haven't been ripened or tamed yet to realize how wise it is to think, to reason, understand, and unfold. Wise person's meditation. 5 aggregates. Form, feeling, then third is the perception. Meditation on perception. Perceptions are usually the perceiver, perceived, and the perception of it. The perceived is not identical to different perceivers. Even if they're all looking with the same eyes and same languages, they don't see the same, any identical in the perceived. So that shows it's wise to know that in the perceived, it is empty of the perception. It is the thing that lack what we perceive. It's in our imagination. It's our projection that we are perceiving. But we think it is the object. See? Wise people think like that. Ordinary people say, no, look at him. You can't just notice, can't you tell? It's all him. They try to nail you down that something independently exists in the perceived. They look for facts to prove. And so we only cause the suffering to multiply. It never solves any problem. It exacerbates. So they don't know how to meditate on perception. Wise people then meditate. That when you're deluded, when you're craving, when you have apathy, when you have aversion, the object changes. So therefore the perception is not the perceived. So therefore we should be kind to the things we perceive in things and people. We should think it's not them, it's all about me, all about our attitudes, all about our afflictions or whatever. When you do that, then we are quick to change. We are fit to change our attitudes, our perceptions. You can make peace quickly. See, wise people meditate on perception. Whether it's visual perception, auditory perception, or any of the senses perception. Most mainly attitudinal perception. What's your attitude of somebody? What's your thought about somebody? What's your opinion of somebody? Are you seeing your opinion of them or them? Usually we see not of them,
Because they are empty. Remember, form is emptiness. We already said form is emptiness. Now we're trying to say that even perception is empty. See, it's get better. So these 5 aggregates, you slowly, incrementally get better and better. Form is talked first because grosses, Perception, yeah, very big subject. Very useful subject in meditation. Even in retreat, you go to such a conducive place far away from something, it is so that you can change your perception. So you drop some wrong perceptions and renew the new perception and be fit to change your perception of yourself. Be kind to yourself. Be gentle to yourself. Be forgiving to yourself. If you are not, others will not. Because you're giving them the impression. They only can see the impression we give. We should remove those impressions by ourselves. We should have joy, gratitude, and then people will see that in us. But we look grumpy and miserable and angry and so woefully in state, then that's people going to see, because we are just showing that, What's people's perception, they say? People dress up so much, put lipsticks all the time, go to apply for a job. They just try to create a perception that they are not. Well, at that time they are. They are together and in the job interview they came very smart. After they got the job, they are coming very, very casually. This is interesting, yeah. The perception industry. Cosmetics. Everything is just a form. Misled by appearances. Not actually knowing what it is for. Meditation on perception. Meditation on volition. Volition is deeds. Deeds or doings, What did you do in life? What did you not do? Why didn't you do? People are usually despairing because they didn't do this, because they mucked that up. They think the doings are independently, truly existing. They're so attached to the failures, they're so attached to the achievement, they don't see the emptiness of them. They don't realize even if they climb Mount Everest, even if they are Sir Edmund Hillary, they don't remember they had Sherpa Tenzin who helped him. They don't realize even your achievements is not your achievements. It is supported by millions of other people. So to get attached to the achievements is just ludicrous. Even if you failed, even if you fail to be the last online, and you get depressed as a result of that, it's not entirely your fault. It means you try your best. See? We don't suffer failure if you understand emptiness of volition, doings. See, teaching. This is wise people meditate on this, because there's a lot of juicy thing in there. Wise people can meditate on each of the 5 aggregates, days and days. Not enough days. Days are not enough. They've got to stay up late night and meditate. They make the night days that they missed. They can make up days by their late hour meditations. That is the concentration meditation. You don't just sit there, just count mantras. That's also a form of meditation, but intelligent people meditate on a lot of other things. Yeah? And then the 5th aggregate is consciousness. The consciousness are usually what I call 6 consciousness related with each of the 5 sense organs and mental consciousness. So 6 consciousness. Visual all the way to mental consciousness. So those are 5 aggregates. Consciousness is usually very unconscious. That's the problem. We think we know exactly what we're talking about, but we are so unconscious of the fact. We're so unconscious, but yet we think we are conscious. Years ago, people bought brown rice, and then they are removing the brown out of the brown rice, and so that they can have the actual white. Nowadays they wanted to. Now they are conscious that the cover of the brown rice is more healthy, and very unconscious. They don't realize that the people who spoil you give you nothing good. People who grill you actually makes you to grow. So we are unconscious that all the difficult we are meeting, that they actually teach us much more good things. Bodhisattvas expect hardships so that they can grow more, because they're more high conscious than the ordinary people who want temporal, immediate, I want now kind of consciousness. That's unconsciousness. Unconscious people want drugs, alcohol, all these things. It's instant gratification, but almost permanent damage. They are unconscious, they are doing that. See, a lot of unconsciousness. To stop them from reverse their behavior from addiction, they have to take so many steps, so many years to become conscious. So, wise people meditate on the 5 aggregates. Analytical meditation. So when you read Heart Sutra, it's a very short, succinct text. But one should actually just read one paragraph. If you really meditate, just read one paragraph or one sentence, and then meditate. Analytically. Sit there and focus on, like I'm talking, just to yourselves. So wise people can meditate on each of these subjects, like the aggregates, and then the elements. Elements I referred to before, 18 constituents. Just 18 constituents of sense objects, sense organs, sense consciousness. And then there are other elements, like 5 elements. Each of the 5 elements, like earth all the way to space, they have sub-elements within the elements, and so on. Then, and so each of the elements have qualities and strength and weaknesses. Without the other 4 elements, no elements are independently elements. So you can meditate on the emptiness of the elements. Warmth or breath or whatever it is. There are lots of factors then. They think is the main problem. Sources of sense perception. Source of sense perception is all the objects, form, sight, sound, smell, taste, and touch. Or you just meditate on them, whether they are beautiful from their own side or palatable. Some people want chili, other people want this. Oh gosh, sources of sense perception. Some people want 3 sugars, others don't want any sugar. Sources of sense perception is source of sense perception. So 6 sense objects, and meditate on them separately, one by one. Use analytical mind, sources of sense perception, and dependent origination, like 12 links of dependent origination. 7 links of cause, 5 links of result, and so on. There are many teachings on those. So tonight we're just listing the various subjects of meditation, because this is the topic. What is the meditative concentration? And then some people will meditate on the other things, like proper and improper things. That's mainly like beneficial and unbeneficial things. So it's good to know that some things are not beneficial. But lots of people are doing a lot of things that are unbeneficial every Thursday night. Or twice a week, or 3 times a week. Maybe necessary, culturally speaking, but actually not beneficial, very dangerous. Quite risky. Not just risky, but have lost many things with it, but still keep committed. So those are
So that'll do. These are a very exhaustive list, So tonight's topic is in many ways very useful. These are various array of objective meditations. And then whatever objective meditation you meditate in a retreat, conducive place with all the causes, prerequisites, and with no distraction, external distraction, whether conducive or whatever, but still once you start meditating in the retreat, you face obstacles. So recognition of the obstacles in the meditation. You can't create enough prerequisites and think you are not attached to your brother or the house or whatever. But even you really are not thinking of the brother, still you will have actual real-time obstacles. And these are listed here. These are the obstacles within calm abiding meditation as well. Laziness, big obstacle. Most people, can't even arrange the session. Don't even know what's the session or timetable. Some people, they have written timetable, but they are not honored. One session honored, the other session not quite honored. Finish early, start late, or whatever. That sort of thing. Laziness. And the forgetfulness is, one is actually in retreat, but concentration is lapsing, And forgetting the concentration. The doing is happening, but feeling from the heart is not happening. And one doesn't know what one is doing. So knowing is also not there. And checking. One is not checking the quality of one's concentration. So one can forget all that. That's a big obstacle. And then desire or dullness. We were talking about dullness. Some people can't feel very dull in meditation. And that's because of desire. Unfulfilled desires manifest in form of dullness. And agitation. Agitation is because of unresolved ill will. And non-application means you know what the formal obstacles are, but you're not applying the remedies. Like you may do this, but you're not doing this. You know what to do, but you're not applying. You know the theory of it, but not actually applying them. Non-application, You're not doing the prayers, or you're not doing the mudras, or whatever it is. You're not really doing them mindfully. So non-application. Then overexertion. That's another extreme. Because you were warned of the danger of non-application, you exert all the things before it's necessary or prematurely. Overexertion. And then doubting. Lots of people in meditation retreat, they get doubting. They say, why should I sit like this? Why should I do this for the next 3 years? Gosh. As if you're going to miss the boat or whatever. As if you're going to sort of miss many things in life for sitting here doing this. It's kind of amazing. Doubt lingers, As if I'm not going to do this for the next 3 years. And quite a few people have said to me, when they first learn something, and they say, no, this is. They say, no, I'm not going to do that. They blatantly said they just will not do it. They doubt that this is appropriate for them. They doubt that this is the right kind of thing for them. They doubt that was taught by Buddha. They say this is a Tibetan thing. And lots of people said that, this is a Tibetan thing. Did the Buddha really teach that? People said that. Quite a few people, They say, these Tibetan things. It's not, Buddha didn't teach that. Of course, we Tibetans keep quiet. As we were into innovation and invention in Tibet. What Buddha didn't. It's quite an insult, really, isn't it? To think that the Tibetans have sort of cooked something that is not Buddhism. Because Buddhism itself got completely lost from India. So how are you going to establish that it is not Indian, that Tibetans have preserved? It is actually the Buddhism that Tibetan practices is the Nalanda Buddhism. It's all that's like all this water, all these offerings are completely Indian culture. Nothing to do with Tibetan culture. So on, So lots of people doubt. in the retreat. They say, why should I do this? Why should I do this? Dharma. Oh, this is Tibetan stuff. Or mudras, or whatever. People doubt. See, doubt comes as an obstacle. Not just about Tibetan, but doubting about whether this practice is suitable for them or not. They say, this is not right for me. Any other people will do practice, will do it. No, this is not for me. And they listen to the doubt. And as a result of that, they don't want to do this. See, doubt's a very big obstacle. And regret. Meditation brings up these things. These are not just avoidable ones. These obstacles must be faced and greeted and met and make friends with. And like one is the regret. Some people feel lots of guilt of what they didn't do well in life or messed that up in time years ago, and then feel could not think of making any progress because they're so guilty about something, and they just have no hope, no optimism to do anything differently. Yeah, so they must have refuge. If they don't have the refuge, that's the problem. Refuge is they must trust in the benefit and recipe of the Dharma that will change our mental continuum. It'll change our mindset. There is no mindset. It's just a little set. Have been set a couple of years. It's pretty set there, but it's changeable, Even the concrete, you can break them into pieces. Why can't you change a mindset? We need a jackhammer. Dharma is a jackhammer that'll break those concreted versions of wrong views. We need the thunderbolt. Throw on the head of the deluded creatures. So, break their doubt and regret all together. Throw the vajra, crack the head. Yeah, confidence. So obstacles, these are obstacles, okay? Then, so if you will meet all these obstacles. And then engaging with mental exertion is that in spite of these, you need to engage. Because of these obstacles, you don't get intimidated by them. Yeah? But you instead engage with the practice, like calm about it. Just keep going to the breath, keep going to the flower, keep going to the object of meditation. No matter how much of any of the obstacles, just don't give a thought to them, just come back. Go, come back, go, come back, stay long. And so on. Slowly you get used to it. Then you will not only you'll be meeting obstacles, but you will developing remedies. Because remedies are matured responses to the obstacles. They are not ready-made packs that you get given. We can't give you ready-made packs. Okay, these are the remedies. If that comes, throw this one away. If that comes, throw that away. We don't have such ready-made remedies. Ready-made remedies are matured realization of the experience of meditation, and then you develop your own tips and remedies. Amazing. Experience is called validation through experience, better than validation through authority or scriptures or text or quotations or even personages. Validation from experience is the most powerful one. That's your personal experience. So when you develop your own antidotes, like such faith, you develop your own faith, not a blind faith. Faith based on lucid, clear, aspirational, determined, and unshakable faith, earned and learned from your effort. That's a faith. Determination. Nothing can dissuade you. That's effort, And right effort. Right effort means you get rid of bad habits, replace them with good habits, and promote the existing good habits. Don't degenerate them. That's the right effort. In the retreat, in the sessions, in the practice. And then you gain physical pliancy. Physically you fit. Otherwise, lots of people are doing all the things, but their body is so tired and asleep and exhausted. And then they start worrying about their body. And they say, no, I can't do this. My back had it. It's little egg in the back, little crack in the ribs, finish already. Others, never mind. Limping, but still doing. Yeah. So we're talking about how much you are overcoming the obstacles. Mindfulness. You have to have mindfulness. What to overcome? Forgetfulness. Introspection to overcome dullness and agitation. Application to remedy non-application. Equanimity to remedy overexertion. So these are the normal ones. And if you apply these 8 antidotes to the 6 obstacles, then you engage your meditation, the thought, with object meditation. However much you are interrupted, you counter-interrupt the obstacles. Yeah, you counter-interrupt the obstacles. So this is engaging the thought with interruption. You don't let the interruption interrupt you totally. You don't let the interruption to teach you greater ability to interrupt it back. Yeah, it's called war. There is a war there. It must be fought. There is no ceasefire allowed. It's called victorious one. Buddha is called victorious one. He defeated this inner enemy. Okay, so if you're engaging with thought with interruption, how does the interruption? Firstly, repeated exertion if distracted. Even if you're distracted, you don't give in to distraction. You repeat the effort again and again. And then strengthening the stability. Because of the exertion, by counter-interrupting, you will gain some stability. Therefore, you will need to fortify your stability. You're strengthening the stability. Rejection of distraction. You don't give distraction a substance. They just they're just symptom of your restlessness. It's just symptom of your short-lived desire. You want quick result. That's the problem. You need to drop that quick result. If you want quick result, meaning expectation, you'll be disappointed. If you are far-sighted and big vision, you won't be distracted. Because distraction will teach you concentration, Concentration is not ready-made virtue. It is transformation of the distraction. It's not lack of distraction that is concentration. It is being able to use the distraction and skillfully for the very set purposes. First, you tend to combat with distraction. You tend to develop hostility with that. Secondly, you become friends with the distraction. Third, you will capitalize the distraction. That is what we're talking about. That is rejection of distraction. There is no distraction but concentration. When it's clarified, even distraction becomes concentration. There is no concentration independent of distraction. You can't weigh something on this side of the scale without the weight on the other. So you need distraction to teach you whether you have concentration or not. So, you remove the wrong view regarding distraction. Yeah? And dispelling dullness, because you know how to short, sharp, increase the frequency of your sessions. Mini sessions within the session. So you know how to dispel the dullness, whether it's gross or subtle, and to dispel agitation. If you interrupt this way, then there will be a time your concentration will be uninterrupted. It's called engaging without any interruption. There will be like a couple of hours or days, your concentration is so unhindered by any of the obstacles, because you fought your way up, so now you actually progress. Some days your clarity, your realization is many times higher than for weeks and weeks it wasn't happening. That's because you have been overcoming these obstacles in a very skillful way. And finally, spontaneous engagement. Later on, it's effortless effort, it's called. Your concentration on the object of meditation. First you hesitate, for instance, to meditate on the unpleasantness of the body. Now you're very, very spontaneous. You can list all the 36 impurities in the correct order, in the reverse order, all by heart. You know it back to front. And you know it's still amazing. In spite of all those unsubstantial things, the body is still amazing castle, up temple to do good. And so you don't denigrate the body, But for the sake of the meditation, you are spontaneously, you are not fearful, you think it's funny or not appropriate, or don't have those things. Someone told me in Siba a couple of 2 years ago, I think, she said, Rinpoche, this is outdated subject. Meditating on the unpleasantness of the body. I said, I didn't invent this. This is not outdated. I said, this is an ancient topic. This is an archaeologist topic. This is not some modern coined by some people teach, the various meditation. They invent themselves, No, I said, this is not outdated. This is evergreen meditation. Evergreen meditation is always correct. Question is whether it's palatable to your liking at the beginning or not, but it's actually true. That's the fact. You can't deny that. It is true, So difficult to accept facts. It's easy to be deceived by fiction. Okay, now this subject we talked tonight is all about general Buddhist meditation. But really, Dhyana Paramita, according to Bodhisattva, starts here. Bodhisattva's concentration meditation is to accomplish dhyanic qualities. These dhyanic qualities is dhyana of what? Dhyana of bodhicitta, of altruism. So Mahayana meditative dhyana concentration is bodhicitta, is altruism. So in order to yield altruism, selflessness, complete selflessness towards all sentient beings, they must train firstly meditation on loving kindness, and then meditation on compassion, then meditation on joyfulness, then meditation on deep contentment, and then meditation on equanimity, and then finally meditation on bodhicitta. They'll also talk about meditation on the equality of oneself and others, meditation on the exchanging oneself with others, and so on. So these are just many different types of stages of meditation within the Bodhisattva. So that is beyond the scope of tonight's topic, but one must know for a person seeking to embrace Bodhisattva's way of life, if you are diligent, if you are disciplined, if you are patient, if you're generous, you should be for giving rise to bodhicitta. That's what you should be diligent for. If you are generous but with no bodhicitta, then that's where the concentration is lacking. Lots of giving happening, but no bodhicitta, no altruism. Some kind of hidden agenda instead. Hidden agenda. So that's why it's very difficult to practice this bodhisattvic dhyanic qualities, dhyana paramita. Is much higher than any of the other topics. Other topics intellectually and so forth, meaningful, behaviorally, very outer behavioral point of view, we may even look like corrected, a tamer or whatever. But main thing is, where is our heart? Is it just for me? Doing this, people can do so many things just for me, just for this, because of the ego. But the Bodhisattva's dhyanic concentration meditation is to overcome the ego, is to become selfless. So bodhicitta is enlightenment thought. It's thought that removes the darkness of egoism and its hidden agenda. So one must meditate on the demerits of the selfishness, demerits of self-cherishing, benefit of cherishing others, therefore loving kindness, therefore compassion for others, therefore rejoicing the others, and so on. So all these subjects we have tonight. That's why we always chant the four immeasurables. May all beings have happiness and cause happiness. That's a loving kindness meditation. Loving kindness meditation, it could be one object of meditation. You can say, may all beings have happiness and cause happiness. But first you say, may all beings.
So the object of your meditation is all beings, you know. So it's not a flower or a breath, you know, or an unpleasant body. Just all sentient beings who are suffering, you know, who want to be so struggle every morning until late night, try to be happy, but they fail miserably. They just don't know how to create the cause of happiness. And then you feel so like a mother who feel all her children is doing the things that doesn't make them happy, but ruin their effort in nothing, no good returns. If you see sentient beings in that plight, which we do, what you would do? That would feature as the most important object and subject of meditation, isn't it? No matter what other meditation you do, if they don't lead us to this meditation, we are missing the point. Particularly in Mahayana Buddhist teaching. Definitely, all the other meditation we talked about should direct our mind to meditate on that. So that is the bodhicitta meditation. Meditation on altruism. First one needs to meditate on the merits of the bodhicitta. Second, one must meditate on how one needs to remove the obstacles in giving rise to bodhicitta. Confession. Confess all the selfish things we did. And to confess and purify our misdeeds, we must honor the triple gem. We must pay homage, make offerings, and do the sevenfold prayers. You know, so all the preliminary practices comes naturally, sensibly. You can see why Vajrayana is practice coming out of Mahayana. So we haven't even talked about Vajrayana yet. We haven't talked about Vajrayana meditation yet. And it's beyond the scope of this subject, this tonight's topic anyway. But if you were to insert here between 7 and 8, you can put 7a. It is the tantric meditation. Tantric meditation, deity yoga. Deity yoga meditation, isn't it? On top of all the above, you're not a substitute, you know. You have to have renunciation, you have to have bodhicitta to do even tantric meditation. Tantric meditation is meditation on emptiness. It's ultimate bodhicitta. See, tantric meditation is not an additional or substitute, it's an ultimate bodhicitta. The Mahayana bodhicitta is a relative bodhicitta. Tantric meditation or deity yoga, when we do Chenrezig practice, when we do Vajrasattva, we do Vajrapani, these are all ultimate bodhicitta in form. Form of deities. But otherwise, it's ultimate bodhicitta. Emptiness in the form. Emptiness of the self and everything in the form is deity. So deity is not a static being out there. It's a realization of emptiness of nature of our mind through the deity yoga. Then we realize the ultimate bodhicitta. So what is the gist of tantric meditation? To realize everything is illusion. That's the main gist of it. That as a result of meditating on the deities or dualistic perceptions, is to see everything is illusion. And then that's ultimate bodhicitta. But ultimate bodhicitta must have compassion, you know. Compassion is that sentient beings do not know this. Therefore they are suffering. They think everything's real. That's why they're suffering. So you stay compassionate, always. For then do not know the things are illusion. Therefore they are languishing. So that's everyday meditation. That's your whole perception. All the time. Not just when you're doing deity yoga, mantras, throughout the whole time. See all forms as a deity, sound as a mantra, thought as emptiness, you know. See, that's the whole idea is tantric meditation that's a summation, distilled essence of Vajrayana practice, meditation. If one does not
if one knows this and then do the DT yoga meditation, it has bodhicitta, it has renunciation, it's got everything, and then you can see why it's the adamantine vehicle, diamond vehicle, precious of all. What I thought would be useful, therefore, to conclude, but very much to practice, the bodhicitta in action, really, basically bodhicitta in action, is this following, number 8. Applied meditative concentration to benefit sentient beings. Now, whatever form of meditation we do, with prayers or mantras or breathing or whatever devotion, whatever we do, that's fine. They all are recommended, prescribed. But all in all, we need to apply those things in outside the time when we're not meditating. These are from the Bodhisattva Bhumi. You know, these things are taken out from Maitreya, so Asanga's chapter on meditative concentration. It's very beautiful. He says, helping sentient beings in many ways. Just helping sentient beings. You may know back of your mind that they don't know things are illusions, they don't realize perception's emptiness, so forth. But still you don't tell them, hey, perception is emptiness, you stupid fellow. What are you doing? You don't bombard this high-sounding teachings. But you got to actually attend to their small acts of kindness. Yeah. So helping sentient beings many different ways, whatever that it is. Don't even say it is Bodhisattva or Buddhist or whatever. Just doing it very silent, very, very anonymously, yeah. Relieving their pain, yeah, it's very important. That's a real concentration meditation. Teaching them the truth of the Dharma, yeah, so that they slowly, that they can see. You can help them to meet the Dharma. In the meantime, you do things that can give them comfort, relieve their pain, then you win their trust. And then you can slowly introduce them to the path, gently, very skillfully. So they teach them the truth of the Dharma without telling it's Dharma, without telling it's Buddhism, that everything is changing, everything's changing, don't worry. Don't say impermanent. Everything changes, don't worry, it's okay. And slowly you try to spoon feed Dharma, by through your act. That's a real concentration meditation, isn't it? You can see the people doing that. You can see the people behaviorally doing that once they are touched by Dharma. Huh? Repaying their kindness. Always believe that people have been kind to you. Even you remember nothing. Just believe that you are doing this, not something because you are more generous, more giving them they are, but you're doing this as a kind of repaying the kindness that you have received from them, but you forgot what they are. Very good attitude. And then you will not be seeking anything back, You are giving what you owe them back. Calming those who are fearful, yeah. Those who are frightened, insecure, unsafe, or alone, or not sure, just be with them. Just spend time with them. Listen to them. Don't interrupt. Don't correct. Even though they're talking nonsense. Just listen. Just listen and pat their shoulders, bring a cup of tea, things like that. Things very, very small. But that's exactly what it is. This is a real concentration meditation. Concentration meditation. And some of your job might even require that. Caring industry, caring health industries, basically is that, It's just because you have a degree to hang on the wall has nothing to do with that. If we lack these things, lots of people receive the technical assistance but not humane assistance. And that's the problem. Paramitas is a humane assistance. Consoling those who have sorrow. Who doesn't?
When you get to know somebody, they have deep-seated sorrows, and it really helps to console those things and clarify them, make them feel they are not alone, that you will help, at least to talk to. I'll listen to you. I'll support you. Just make a promise. They'd be so comforted by the fact that you said you will help them. You may not know how to help them, but at least you will now, because you said so. And it doesn't mean you have to have everything to give. You will find somebody else that will help you to help them. all these organizations are, NGO organizations are, they're helping others to help others. They're doing these things. They're selling cakes on the street to help others. And they say that when they sell the cake, they ask the people to thank you for helping me. But actually they are now seeking help for themselves. They are doing this to help another cause. See? Amazing. This is, you can witness all the time. When you have bodhicitta intention, you witness this everywhere. Amazing. It opens your eyes. Giving what they need. Whatever it is, give them. Don't think it's yours and you will need it. Give the thing that they need if they ask for it. It'll make you grow. It'll make you grow many times. It'll make you grow tall. It'll make your life meaningful if you can give something what others need that you happen to have, you happen to be able to facilitate that. That's a real concentration meditation. That's DHYANA, Paramita. See, all selfless activities, isn't it? Just service. This is real bodhicitta. This is bodhicitta in action. This is Asanga wrote this, what they give. Introducing them to good people. It's just introducing to other people. If you can't help them, just introduce to somebody. Introduce some places. And some maybe books, some materials. Yeah? You have no idea how much it changes people if they just had this good gift. Agreeing with them to pacify them. Even they are carrying on complaining about things, just agree with them. Just agree with them. Make them feel at least somebody believes them. I mean, that's what most people these days, all this counseling industry is basically that, isn't it? They never say, "Oh, don't tell me that. I don't believe that." Well, then what? It's everything the person is having verbal diarrhea. You just believe what they say. Oh, they call listening therapy. Because somebody listens to all your garbage or whatever, and they feel such a relief. Oh, at least they can really tell the whole story. They never get to talk. They usually get interrupted. So, agreeing with them to pacify them. Bring a box of tissue. Boxes of tissue, actually. and then so maybe we had enough for today. Okay. Can we see you next Tuesday? Yes, next Tuesday, yes. I think this kind of caring industries is very good, very important if you have kindness. But the highest skill is kindness. If the person has no kindness, no matter how many years of counseling, all this thing they have, it's just another consumerism. Another thing they fill the time so that they can charge $90 for half an hour. Yeah. Making them laugh, smile, and happy. Yeah. Just if you can make somebody that is not smiling or laughing or happy, just do something with or for or even against. That'll make them smile and laugh and get them out of the absurd views. Let them have a time to get freedom from those wrong views and take them outing and show them a comedy or something. Comedy is very relief. They're useful. They say, good comedy is very good gift actually. Good gift. People need to. It's too serious. And most people are too intense and serious. They're taking things too seriously. Sometimes gift could be bodhisattvas do anything, you know. If they can relieve the pain and bring some kind of soothing assistance, that's concentration meditation. That's bodhicitta. That's a bodhicitta in action. It could be generosity. It has to be generosity. There has to be a lot of generosity to do that, isn't it? And has to be a lot of discipline. You know, because you got to really commit to how I'm going to benefit this person. You just not talk about what you want and what you don't want. Just do it on their terms. Completely benevolent discipline. You know, and then patient. Then you just be totally tolerant for the sake of servicing that to others, and very diligent. Study, read, plan, scheme. Try to have a plan how to make them to exit from that state of mind. That is concentration meditation. Then subjugating them properly. In the end, subjugating. Now you have won their respect totally. Now you could definitely show them the right place or situation, setting them on the path. It's like refuge in Buddhism, like refuge, like taking bodhicitta and make a vow to review that every day and think the merits of bodhicitta and demerits of selfishness. So that's the applied meditative concentration to benefit sentient beings. And then post-meditationally, you should always be in the ultimate meditation, bodhicitta, that all sentient beings don't realize that everything is illusion. Yeah? Because they don't know this, therefore they are suffering. What a pity. Then stay always in compassion. Compassion with essence. Like compassion, you feel a little emotionally charged or feel engaged, but deep back of your mind, you're in the immovable meditation on emptiness. Yeah. That is the ultimate bodhicitta. Ultimate bodhicitta isn't something at the finishing line. Ultimate bodhicitta is, you must always rely on that. Without ultimate bodhicitta, relative bodhicitta on its own could not take you very far. It'll make you emotionally get wound up and stressed, and lots of people are so kind and generous, do so much work, but without the wisdom. This is what we're talking about, Paramita, next week. Paramita, transcendental wisdom, then Paramita of the transcendental wisdom. So it's basically ultimate bodhicitta. So the benefit of this meditation is indescribable. So I could not fit on this page. Couldn't even dare to list it. They say if there is a physical environment in which that can accommodate benefit of merit of bodhicitta, it cannot accommodate. And you will see, if you do that little bit each day, you can see how much it lifts you, to a status. Definitely it's enlightening. Definitely is enlightenment thought. That is the concentration meditation. Sure, why you meditate on impermanence and unsatisfactoriness of samsara and all those things, general Buddhist meditation subject we surveyed tonight, because you can't to go straight into the meditation, ultimate bodhicitta being the subject itself, being the, the concentration meditation. Generally speaking, calm abiding. We need calm abiding. That's why the argument in the Kamala Shila's writing on the stages meditation is the calm abiding meditation and special insight meditation are necessary requirement to develop bodhicitta. Yeah, you can't just meditate on bodhicitta without calm abiding. So with calm abiding, you have a good discipline to focus your attention. And once you know how to watch the breath and sit correct posture and doing that, and then very, very active, then you can now focus on bodhicitta. Conceptual object meditation. Remember we talked about conceptual object meditation? Yeah, bodhicitta is conceptual object meditation. Some are visual, physical object meditation. Like deity yoga is a visual meditation. You visualize, but still conceptually, it's Buddha of compassion in the form of, visual form of four-armed Avalokiteshvara. Yeah? So you can now see the many array of meditation and subjects that there are. All the combined purpose of the meditation concentration is to annihilate the discursive, distractive, and unsettled mind. Taming the mind, elephant-like, rowdy, unruly mind that's in the room of your life. If there's an elephant in your house, you better do something about it. So, like that. So you got, and if that is the unruly mind, if you have an unruly mind, you better get a hook and a chain to tame this through the concentration meditation, starting with Kamabhari meditation and aiming to do the bodhicitta meditation. See, that's what Shantideva says, Kamala Shila says. First you have to, the main meditation is bodhicitta. How do you meditate on bodhicitta? In order to develop bodhicitta, you need to develop Kamabhari and special insight meditation. These two will then show the mind to how to do bodhicitta meditation. Even bodhicitta meditation cannot be cultivated without the right causes and conditions. Yeah, so that's why I see they justify the Kamabhari meditation, special insight, the stages meditation. The main object of meditation is special insight. It is emptiness of self and altruism. But before you do that, you've got to first tame your body, then the feelings, then the thoughts, all these things that we normally talk and teach and practice in the Kamabhari meditation. I didn't run out things to say, but it would be a good idea to stop there, just to entice your taste bud on the subject of meditation. Thank you for the concentration that went in listening. So, into the dedication. Amen. By the merit of this, may I attain the state of omniscience and defeat the enemies of defilements. May I liberate all sentient beings from samsara oceans, travel the ways above all this sickness and death. By listening to the precious mind and teaching, whatever boundless merit I require, may all sentient beings become precious and stainless vessel to retain the excellent precious mind and teaching. Chanjo Zenjo Rinpoche, Maje Bana Jejoje,
Yawa nyamba meba ya gone gondo mewa ya. May the Supreme and Precious Bodhicitta take birth here and now done so. Where it has been born, may it increase abundantly without degeneration.